Broadcasting from an undisclosed location under a farm pond somewhere in the Midwest. Your host is Jim Crowley. This is Slickfish Radio. Hey everybody, welcome to Slickfish Radio. Glad you're joining us tonight. Before we get into everything, we do have Captain Mo here with us tonight, my connection for Peacock Bass in Miami, and we're going to talk about our trip and some other things as well. So glad you are here. This past weekend, for all of you, hey, Jim Colba just joined us. Hi, Jim. Good to see you here. By the way, we're just going to bring up Shields last weekend. Had a great event. James Yarlin just told me, hey, James, how you doing? Had a great event at Shields in Springfield last weekend. And Jim's daughter, Savannah, was there. So we had a great talk, and they're coming to a class that I'm teaching tomorrow night, actually, which is March 16th. At Shields in Springfield, Illinois. And it's the last bass class that we're teaching before everybody gets out on the water. And that is going to be on lure choice and color selection. So it's a free class. Shields is really reaching out to the high school collegiate anglers there. But if you want to show up to the class, please feel free. I had several people at Shields ask me, hey, can anybody show up to the class? And yes, you can. And I also had some people come on today and say, message me on Facebook or whatever and go, hey, is this the guy that you talk Peacock Bass with? And I said, yeah, probably the giveaway was him holding a picture of the Peacock Bass. But just so you know, he is going to be here tonight in a little bit, but we do have some people to thank. American Tackle Company. So glad to always have them. Explore Lacrosse, Shields, as we were just talking about, in Springfield, Illinois. And we are powered like we are every week by Dakota Lithium. So without further ado, I want to bring in our special guest, and that is Captain Mo. Captain Mo, how you doing, buddy?
Long time no see, Jim. How you been?
Yeah, you've been. Yeah, how's the family? Things are going good, right?
Yeah.
Now, actually, he's seeing way too much of me. We had a great trip down to Florida several weeks ago. Talked with the folks at American Tackle because Mo is our pro staff director at American Tackle. He is a friendly face that you talk to on the phone, and but he is also a fantastic fresh and saltwater guide. And so a lot of you, more people coming in. Robert Stresky, hi there. Len, how you doing? These are some of the guys that wanted to definitely hear about Peacock Bass. So Mo, do me a favor, buddy. We spent a couple great days fishing together. But get a little bit into Steve Greathouse just chimed in. He said, hi guys, hi Captain Mo. So there you go. There you go.
He just finished a great rod, actually. He finished a killer rod.
Awesome. Yeah. So Mo, like I said, Mo works at American Tackle, and he also guides. And Mo, tell us a little bit about your back history, about how you know those Peacock Bass so well, and how you know the Miami area so well.
So, of course, being born and raised in South Florida, Peacock Bass has been like a passion of mine. But really, Jim, saltwater was what I grew up on. But I really didn't get into freshwater bass fishing until I started working for one of the biggest fishing tackle companies in the world. And that's where I really started fishing them hard and realized how fun they were to catch. So it's an exotic species, and anybody can really do it. And I think we kind of mentioned this, but anybody that can walk a shoreline or have access to a lake in South Florida has access to a fantastic fishery like this. And so, you can grab either live bait, live shiners on small little octopus hooks or circle hooks and go target them that way. And they are really easy to catch that way. Or you can have it a little bit more challenging. But with the top waters, they are hyper aggressive towards things with very bright colors. So if you do want to use artificials, we'll go over that today too. We got a whole list of them probably we can talk about. But it's very accessible. Anybody can really do it. And it's a fish that you can probably find in about, let's say, Lake Osborne South. So anything from there all the way down to the tip of Florida, almost all the way out west to the Everglades, the peacock bass are very prevalent. And because the canals were so deep, they can survive the winters in South Florida. Now, this is a species that is from the equator. So it's from the Amazons, it's from, a tropical forest and all these different rivers. But in South Florida, if they get stuck on a very shallow lake or a pond, potentially they could freeze in the winters, even though how mild the winters are in South Florida. So having them in the canal systems means they get down into the aquifer where the water temperature is a little bit more stable. So the warmer it gets, the better and better the fishing for the peacocks are. We target them all year, but if it's a cold front coming through, it's tough. It's really, really tough fishing some days. But you can see we had a very productive day when we went.
Yeah, that's for sure. And just so you guys know, when Mo was talking about, hey, it's good when it's hot. July and August, as he told me, if you can stand the heat, that's going to be some of your best peacock bass fishing. I mean, I think we had 12 or 13 the one day that we fished. The next day was pretty cold in the morning, and we fished till about noon or so, and we had to throw some live bait back to them. But still, we had some awesome blowups. We had some nice fish, and a 2 to 3 pound peacock is pretty good. You start getting in that 4 pound range, and those starting to be some pretty strong, some pretty strong fish. And I can't imagine what they would be like in July and August. We got a bunch of people. Let's see who just came. Okay, so Jim Hengen said he can't wait to catch his P. Jimmy Neese from California said hi. Chief Mike from Hayward there. Now we got the police watching us. I knew it was just a matter of time. I'm on a list, just so you know. Yeah, I'm on a list. So glad to have everybody here. So let's go over a little bit. Let's go over a little bit of tackle, Mo, and I'll chime in a little bit, but I want you to tell people what they can expect, what kind of tackle is going to be good for them to bring. How we described it on the show that we filmed was pretty much smallmouth and walleye tackle is going to be great stuff. But why don't you expand on that?
So I like as light tackle as possible. That's really what gets me going, is trying to target these fish on something super light, because I do use small baits, and that allows me to cast those baits further, cover more ground when I have something with a little bit soft tip, but some backbone to it. So sometimes I'll even go down to things like crappie jigs, marabou jigs, small jerk baits, number 8 Rapalas, X wraps. That's a great bait to throw with. Some of my favorite baits are usually walking baits, or even those little skitter props. Anything with a prop on it, it just irritates the fish to no extent. And I have to tell you, I can't stress it enough, but you've seen it, Jim, when we were out there. It's nice to have a backup rod. So
Right.
when these fish explode on the top water, sometimes they'll come back, sometimes they'll just not come back. But they gave their address away. They gave themselves away, so you know exactly what cut, what corner, what
Exactly.
drop off that fish came off of. So what you can do is he called himself, he knows exactly where, we all know where he lives now. He's probably not going to go too far from that area, or she, but usually what we target in peacocks are the male fish. So it's just about getting them aggressive enough to come back and bite something, whether that's a jerk bait, whether that's a jig, a marabou jig, or a bucktail jig that you're just fluttering up and down in that zone where he's just guarding, being very territorial.
Right.
So that's the idea behind some of those baits. So when they miss that top water, it's always good to have a little bucktail jig, maybe in a fire tiger pattern, or even like a jerk bait that you can just keep ripping past there. I love suspending twitch baits because that allows you to just kind of sit there in that area and twitch it just ever so slightly and kind of work that area very, very slowly with one of those jerk baits or suspending twitch baits, which I really do love throwing. But as far as rods go, I mean, one of my favorite rods to throw is a spin jig. We all know what we love, the MB 8 to 15
right.
as well. But the spin jigs for me are fantastic. Anything in the CB line and a crankbait line, it's going to have a more moderate action to cast some of those lighter baits, but still some power to really hold on to those big males is fun. And by the way, when we target these peacocks, it is the big male fish. It's not even a bass; they're cichlids. So you can see when they're starting now. And we caught a couple with some nice humps on them. But wait till they start to spawn heavily, and those humps are 2-3 times the size of that forehead, and it's pretty cool. But that's how the male, you know, the difference between the male and the female fish.
And it's interesting to about the topwater thing. And we did have a rod, the rod that we were talking about. And if any of you've seen the show on Wired to Fish TV, if any of you have Plex, just so you know, Plex is probably the biggest station that Wired to Fish TV has right now, with LG coming very soon. But if you get the Plex app and you look for Wired to Fish TV, my show, Jim Crowley Outdoors, is now on at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And so sooner or later, you're going to see that Peacock episode again. And you're going to see the rod that we use that we discussed in there is that's a MB72 8 to 15. as Mo was saying, it's a great rod with a soft tip. A lot of you guys could probably use it as a walleye rod. It's one of my favorite smallmouth bass rods, and it throws really light balsa top waters. I'm going to show you a couple other baits here in a minute, but it's also a great rod that you can have to throw live bait back to the fish with like a little 1-0 circle hook, because these little shiners are very delicate, and to have a rod that really throws a bait really easily, you will get longer life from. Now, the bait that we had the most success on, which I'm going to show you right here, and it's a green screen, so I can't see it very well. That's funny, but that is the skitter prop right there, and it's a Rapala skitter prop, and part of it anyway, and that has that propeller on the back, and that was a number one bait. One of the other ones, a small walking bait, which also apparently is with the green screen, but that is just a skitter walk right here, a very small bait. And this one you might actually be able to see is the X-Wrap prop right there. And anything with that bright orange, let's see if we can see that, bright orange or that lime green, any bright colors like that. And the warmer it got, the better the top water bait got. Mo and I were talking about if I had hair jigs in a boat, and I love throwing hair jigs. If we had that, um, hair jigs probably would have been just as much fun. But seeing them blow up on top water, my goodness, we have a bunch of people chiming in here, Mo. We got to say hi to some
Good
people
deal.
here.
Hey,
Dave Locander from Wisconsin. Keep 'em pin fishing is in the house. Well, glad to have you. Jim Henges said my best-selling casting rod. There he is, MB 8 to 15. That's right. American Tackle has a lot.
Actually, look, I have an MB right over there.
If you can see it, Bobby Lawson just said Mo is my hero. So that's so yeah, he's my hero.
Thank you, Bobby.
There you go. He's my hero too.
Bobby's
Mo,
a good guy.
Before we get talking a little bit about the peacocks a little bit more, let's tell them a little bit also what you do. I mean, you love your job. I know you do. And it seems that everybody that ends up working for American Tackle ends up building rods. The cool thing is everybody there fishes. So why don't you tell them a little bit about your position at American Tackle?
So what I do is I'm actually the pro staff director with American Tackle. So I oversee a lot of the promotions, a lot of the acquisition of pro staff, of course, vetting pro staffers, and then we have a lot to do with going to the shows and everything like that. So shows like ICAST, the International Custom Rod Building Expo in North Carolina, and there's tons of other shows that we do as well. So with that, a lot of my job, of course, is customer service, and we also help with some technical stuff. And the company is growing and growing tremendously, and it really has opened up doors for me, Jim, in the rod building world, because now a lot of my time is taken up with these beautiful things back here. So it's become a passion of mine. Now I started repairing rods when I lived in Key Largo, and that was a long, long time ago when I used to work in a smaller retail bait and tackle store and sold bait and fish out of a fish market at a cool little store down there in Key Largo. Of course, did a lot of fishing down there. But what that really allowed me to do is just continue to start my rod building. Is to start learning how to rod build, and I learned how to repair guides, and then finally coming on board with American Tackle. Seeing how to build a rod from A to Z has really been so cool. And it's now I can do things like decorative wraps and all kinds of crazy stuff, which I never ever thought I would do. And I never knew what really went into the whole assembly of a rod. But now I can pick my gear for my charters. So now I do own and operate a charter business. So specifically for my customers and what I like to do, I can build my gear to the exact techniques and the exact baits and the exact way that I fish in the areas I fish. So it really is unique, and it's kind of cool, but everybody freaks out when they come on our boats and they see, wow, those are some really nice rods.
Yeah, especially that one you built for your mom that that Kirk was catching fish on. That was a lot of fun. When
That's a nice rod.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. When we come back, we're gonna take a 2-minute break here. And when we come back, I want to talk to Mo about the rest of his guide service, and then obviously how you people can contact him. Because I'm telling you, if you want to go and you want to catch peacock bass, and I had a lot of you say stuff to me, this is the guy. Okay, this is the guy you do it with. You will have fun. He's very knowledgeable, excellent fisherman. So when we come back, we're going to talk about more. So as Chuck Woolery used to say, we're going to be back in 2 and 2. American Tackle is home to the award-winning microwave line control system. Rod blanks to reel seats, ferrules to finish, grips to guides. They're committed to the very best in rod building components. Find out more, americantackle.us. With fishing beyond your expectations, indoor and outdoor activities, a vast variety of places to eat, drink, and stay. Discover your next adventure between the bluffs. ExploreLaCrosse.com. Located in Springfield, Illinois' largest selection of sports and sportswear, hunting, fishing, specialty shops and services, a 65-foot Ferris wheel, 16,000-gallon saltwater aquarium, and industry-leading knowledgeable employees. You don't take chances at Shields, ever. Go to Shields.com. Believing quality is measured by lifespan and harnessing their unique chemistry and engineering know-how. Dakota Lithium lasts 4 times longer, powering your passion with an 11-year warranty. Find out more, DakotaLithium.com.
Slick Fish Radio with Jim Crowley can be seen and heard on Roku, Fire TV, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iTunes.
All right, we are back, and we got more people coming in. Mo, these are for you, buddy. TJ Corcoran said, my boy Mo. There he is. So I think these are people you owe money to, buddy. I'm not really sure.
I very well might be. This is good. This is getting interesting when you got Bobby Lawson making comments and TJ Cochran on there. I like it.
Yeah, and he's on here too. And he said, ask him about his old buddy Tim from Bass Pro Shops. That's
love it. You know what? I've made so many friends over the years, Jim, in this industry. I have another one in you now. But let me tell you that American Tackle is truly the best company I have worked for yet. I mean, it's a family. You see it when you come in there, you guys feel it. And it really is. I mean, guys like Don Morris and Patrick and Doug and Austin and Alex Funky, of course, Darren Heim. All these guys have been mentors to me. And now we got Kevin, which is just killing like marketing stuff. So it's really a great group, a team. And then you have a well-oiled machine and everything that happens in the warehouse too, which those guys do a fantastic job.
Oh, those guys, you're right. They are a machine. And it is. I mean, we walked in the door there, and by mistake, those guys didn't lock it, and so we got in. And then they pretended like they were happy to see us. But one of Mo's jobs is dealing with guys like me. So while I'm talking about it, we just had, who else just said this on here? It's just all you guys are chiming in. I love this. Thank you so much. Bobby Lawson said you're the best net man that's ever fished on his boat.
Oh yeah, Bobby's my fishing partner there. Yeah, Bobby needs to step up his game these days, Jim, to be quite honest with you.
And Steve Greathouse said, and we try to mention this when we can, folks, is go to the American Tackle website. If you're interested in learning what a pro staff is about, go to the American Tackle website and sign up, because Mo's the one who actually goes through all those applications. You are applying for a position. I tell this to the high school kids and the college kids all the time. You are applying for a position. So if you're interested, go to americantackle.us and fill out that application. Now I'm going to show you something here, Mo, because we're going to get into a little bit something else about saltwater, because besides largemouth bass and peacock bass, you also go after fish about this size. Yeah.
That handsome guy.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at the fish. Anyway, So you actually do saltwater charters as well. So talk a little bit about that.
That is really my bread and my butter, Jim. I love saltwater fishing. It's been my background, obviously from South Florida. And to give you a little bit of more background, I owned and operated a commercial fishing business with my father for quite some time. So we got to spend days upon days upon days doing exactly that. Reef fishing, bottom fishing, trolling, specifically for snapper, grouper, mahi, wahoo, things like that down there. Up here, we focus on more species like kingfish, cobia, red snapper. We do have mutton snapper, lane snapper, triggerfish, and tons of other species that come in the mix too. But it's really a grab bag of fish. You really never know. Every day is going to be different. I mean, we caught a huge African pompano last summer. Must have weighed close to 40 pounds, about 39 and a half pounds. So that was a stud.
Wow, that's awesome. And if people want to get hold of you, just so we can throw all that information there. And then if you guys want to message me afterwards, because after the show, after we let Mo go, you guys stay tuned, because we have a new product to show you tonight. So I want to make sure I mention that actually from Fish 419 Sunglasses. So when we're done, just as always, hang on because I have some cool stuff to show you and tell you about some other stuff. Anyway, but Mo, where can they find out more about you and where just go through all the social media, everything?
Absolutely. So you can always call me directly. My phone number is 786-326-8926. Even if it's fishing related, you have a question, there's something I can help answer for you about peacock bass or about fishing here in Central Florida, don't hesitate. I love talking about this stuff, and Jim will let you know. We go hours and upon hours talking about this kind of stuff, so don't hesitate. There's other social media platforms you can follow me on. Some of the good ones are like Instagram. You can follow me at Mo is Fishing, MOIS Fishing, which is also the TikTok handle. On Facebook, you can look me up. I do have a page for the charter company. It is Captain Mo Fishing and Charters LLC.
Well, there you go. That's about as easy as get. And my beautiful wife just chimed in and she said, "Hi,
Rhonda.
Captain Mo." So
Hi,
Rhonda
Rhonda.
said the same thing. So it's nice to have at least one fan, and it is my wife. So that is good. That is good. And I was talking about me, not you. So anyway, I want to delve a little bit more into the peacock bass thing, just a little bit. What can people expect? They say they book a trip with you and they want to come out peacock bass fishing. What can they expect?
Well, first, expect a fun time. I can tell
Exactly.
you that right off the bat.
No doubt.
It'll be a good day for sure.
For sure.
But what I would look to expect is always have a backup. So we're probably going to be fishing live shiners as well. I usually bring that for all the peacock bass charters, just because however much we love to catch them on top water, if that fish refuses or misses that bait 2-3 times and then never shows itself, we can cast a shiner right there and probably guarantee a hookup. So that is fun. Now, we do it on light tackle. If you want to bring your own tackle, you're more than welcome to. Of course, I'll make recommendations onto that tackle and baits if you prefer bringing certain things. I know some people have favorite rods and things they like to use or want to break in on a trip like this. So it really is a good time. Now, also expect to have some good food in the area because Cuban food is one of my favorites.
You turned us on to that restaurant. And then what the pastries you brought out in the boat that morning. Somebody book a trip just for the pastries. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness.
I can do that upon request, by the way. Okay. You got to let me know in advance.
Oh my
God. Give me an extra 10 minutes. I can stop by a Cuban bakery and we'll have a great morning.
We could have just rode the boat through the canal, which is its own crazy ecosystem. There's peacocks walking around, literally peacocks, a bird walking around there, flying across the canal when we were in there. There was iguanas in there, fish. I had no idea what the heck they were.
Mayan cichlids, grass carp, canal whales. I'm sure there's a couple pacu swimming around there somewhere, red-tailed catfish. Who knows what you'll see in one of those canals. And not to mention, like I said, we didn't see any tarpon rolling or snook, but not uncommon while we're fishing for these peacocks, you get a saltwater fish in the mix too, or a big jack crevalle.
Oh, I know. And I've caught jacks and some big jacks, but on light equipment, I'd probably still be there. Those things are nasty fun. They are so mean.
I've fought one for about 15 minutes on light tackle running up and down a canal. And the thing was, yes, they will take you for a ride. And so you can imagine it really has nowhere to go but up and down. So
that's right. Folks, I am telling you, if you really want to have fun, and this is one of the coolest fish I've ever got. And it wasn't just a fish, it was the experience. Mo and I had so much fun filming this show. And we're going to go back and do it again. We're actually going to go back. My wife and I are going to go back and fish with him maybe or probably October of this year for something completely different. But without question, one of the most enjoyable guides and most knowledgeable guides that have ever been on the water with. And I've been with some very good ones. And I would honestly rank Mo in the top 5.
Thank you.
We really had a great time, and I seriously can't recommend him highly enough. Mo, do me a favor, buddy, before we let you go, because I know you got kids, you got everything else going on, and you're kind enough to be here.
I locked them away. They're good.
That's right. They're expensive pets, is what he told me. That's what
boy, tell me about it.
So why don't you tell folks one more time how they can get a hold of you? Go through the whole thing again, because I don't want anybody to miss out.
No problem. So give me a shout, 786-326-8926. That is my cell phone. You can also contact us through our social media platforms, and that's Mo is Fishing, MOIS Fishing, on Instagram, TikTok, And then you can also reach me through Captain Mo Fishing and Charters LLC on Facebook. But it really is about the fish. I mean, all the other cool things that come along with the tropical birds, the crazy fish, people filming shows in their own backyard. We saw somebody filming.
We did that. We had like a news channel or something talking to us under. That was fun.
People waving at us, drinking their coffee in the morning. So it is an experience, but it really is about the fish, and the fishing is amazing. These fish are so powerful. They're acrobatic. They're colorful. And the patterns, each one is unique. So and they fight tremendously hard.
Yeah, and Mo's really good. It's all catch and release. So we got to see all those fish swim away. Every single one of them took off, and it was just so much fun to do. My friend, I really appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you being here and talking with you. And anybody said you got all the information from Mo. This will be up tomorrow on all our platforms. So if you want to call or contact Mo, or you want to message me about something about the trip, please feel free to do so, because I promise you this will be one of the best experiences you ever have. My dear friend, I love you. I appreciate you. God bless you. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jim. Have a great night. Take care.
All right, Captain Mo Fernandez. I love that guy. He's fantastic. And just one of the other reasons I love working with people at American Tackle. They are absolutely phenomenal. That's how Mo is how the company is. That's how that company is. Huge on customer service, just great people all the way around. Really appreciate all of you tuning in tonight. Couple things. I did want to show you a new product tonight, and I just got this yesterday. And this is from Fish 419. And any of you watch Jim Crowley Outdoors, you know that we wear their sunglasses all the time. And this is a new Platinum Series sunglasses right here. Incredibly great fit on these. And they have their new cases, which I absolutely love. Now, I'm going to show a code up here for you for a minute here. Let me put these away. I want to show you how they package their stuff. When you get a box from Fish 419, that is a box right there. Okay. 419. And I love this. They're called the Fish and God We Trust. All right. That's Fish 419. I love these guys. I love Craig Claus, the owner. He's a fantastic guy, makes an absolutely quality product. The only sunglasses that both me, my wife, and my cameraman wear. We love them. They have a full supply of them. If you're at Shields in Springfield, Illinois, they have they ran through a lot of them this past weekend at the Shields Fish Fest. Let me put this up here for you, though. But if you're interested in getting a new pair, the Platinum Series, or any of the other ones, here's what you can do. You can put in the code when you go to order them. Put in the code, thanks, JC. You will get 10% off of any order. Okay, anything on their website. But check out those new Platinum Series. I also have my own signature series clay shooting glasses on there. Check those out. You get 10% off everything. So it's a great thing to check out. For American Tackle, if you go to AmericanTackleAnglerProducts.com, all right, rods, reels, everything on there, you put in that code JCO20, you get 20% off, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, as always with our friends at Lure Parts Online, if you're a first-time order, put in the code JCOutdoors10, and you will get 10% off there. We have a couple more comments coming in. Yes, Robert Stresky, does Fish 419 do prescription sunglasses? I believe they do. Robert, go to the website and send info there. I'm sure Mr. Kloss will get back to you right away. He handles all those himself. And he is a great guy to talk to. He handles all the customer care things. So I like about Fish 419, when you call them, it's Craig who answers the phone, and he will take care of it. So Robert, if you can't get through, let me know. I'll put you in contact with Craig, but I bet you if you send an email or call that you will probably get a hold of Craig, and he can answer all the questions you have for him. So again, that is Fish 419. If you go to, let me go to this. I'll put this up one more time here for you guys to make sure that you have it. And there is a sunglass code right there, Fish 419. There you go. All right. So obviously I want to thank our sponsors, American Tackle, Explore Lacrosse, Shields in Springfield, and we are powered by Dakota Lithium. One last thing to tell you, and then anybody who commented, I will be offline here in a little bit, and then I will make sure that I answer all your questions. And but I do want to tell you that I do have that bass class at Shields in Springfield tomorrow night. That'll be 6:30 p.m. That will be lure selection and color choice. So even if you're a high school student or you just want to show up, the class is free. I think we're going to have a pretty good crowd tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's an hour and a half class. So make sure if you can be in the area, please stop by. Shields really is a great outreach of getting to the high school anglers, and the shelves there are stocked at Shields. So if you're looking for stuff, that would be a great place to be. Last thing I'm going to tell you is the end of the month, Bass Pro Shops in Missouri is having a big fishing event. I've been asked by Rapala to go down there. I will be down there the 31st, March 31st to the 2nd, working for Rapala there at the Springfield store, Bass Pro Shops there. So if you are in the area, stop by the Rapala booth. We'll show you what's new at Rapala and check it out. Should be a fun event. And anytime I get to work with Rapala, it's always a great time. So, and that is that. So I see there's some more questions and comments. We're going to let you all go. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for letting this show grow bigger. And it is. And it's because of all of you. And I am so, so appreciative. We have some really, really great guests coming on in the near future and some more surprises. Until then, all of you, I love you. God bless you. We'll see you soon.